I think we are ready to start.
All right.
Okay, cool. So thank you all for taking the time to be here. All of the participants as well as Nate. So a couple weeks ago, Nate, we kind of talked about, we had another webinar where we looked at a high level, the integration between Proctor360 and Assess. And we talked a lot about the capabilities as well as the seamless integration. The reason we wanted to host this webinar was to do a deep dive into what that actually looked like on the setup side, as well as ultimately on the candidate journey. So the agenda for today's webinar is pretty straightforward. I'm going to hand it over to Nate. He's going to go through the assess setup, configuration, and administration. He's going to hand it back to me. I'm going to go through the Proctor360 setup. And then lastly, I'm going to go through the full candidate journey that a user would go through to all the way from registering for an exam, taking it, and then receiving their results. So with that, Nate, I'll hand it over to you.
All right. Thank you. Just waiting for screen share
There you
here.
go.
All right. No problem.
There you go.
So as Dorothy mentioned, there's a nice tight integration here between Proctor360 and Assess AI, our new platform. So Assess AI takes care of the test development and delivery aspect, as well as other back-end assessment pieces like reporting or psychometric analysis. And Proctor360 provides the security layer that ensures the tests are delivered with integrity. So the integration involves scheduling a group of students to take a test or candidates, depending upon what test it is, setting it up for delivery with Proctor360, as well as additional specifications such as date range that it's available or number of seats that it's available, and then publishing it to our candidate portal where the candidates can go select this and deliver. So you can see here I'm in our platform. There's modules for item banking, test assembly, exam management, that sort of thing. We're not going to talk about that today. I'm just going to focus on the scheduling. So you create a session. A session is a delivery of a test or a set of tests to a given set of students. So like if you have one test that's delivered, let's say even 4 times a year as a certification at a regional conference, each of those 4 is a different session. And you would create a session and you give it a name that is something like that. Let's say Wichita Regional Spring 2026 or something like that. And you can also give a description there explaining what certification it's for, how many seats there are available, the dates that it's available, you can register, what other type of practical information you want. So those are the 2 initial things that you have to add. Then you'd also specify that this test is going to be an event test, and that's going to be specifically on a certain date and delivered with security. And then once you set that to event, when you go to create delivery, you can specify that it's got a name here that the examinee is going to see in their system, and that it's going to be delivered with Proctor360. In this case, we've already got selected, so that's going to be grayed out there, and give that identifier that connects it to Proctor360. And like I mentioned, you can also specify registration windows, delivery windows, and other really specific choices to control the availability of candidates. Then once you publish this, it's going to be available in our candidate platform. So our candidate platform is called Credit Cycle. It's meant to manage the entire credentialing life cycle. So you can also do things like have applications to take a certification exam, have those applications approved by eligibility reviewers, which is why you see eligibility requests thing up on top here. Take exam fee payments, then deliver the test, then provide them a feedback report or a printable certificate or a digital badge, whatever it is that you need for your certifications. So in this case, we've got our store here. This is the available certifications or exam sessions that are available for this client. This here is a sandbox, so these are all internal names, but these could be, like I said, Wichita Spring 2026 Regional Certification, or it could be like Spring 2026 Basic Certification versus Intermediate, whatever it is that you have to organize your exams. Then the candidate would go here to select the test they want to take, provide the payments, whatever else it is that they need. And then once they've actually purchased it, it's going to show up here on their purchase. And they'd be able to then go in and log in and take their test. In this case, I haven't purchased anything yet, so they can see I don't have any. So with that, I will turn it over to Kranti.
Thank you, Nate. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through, Nate went through the Assess platform and the setup there. I wanted to go through the Proctor360 platform and the setup here for the security settings, right? So I have a exam. We're going to be creating an exam within Proctor360, and this is ultimately what we're going to link up to Assess. And I have an exam that I've created here today, and I'm just going to go through and edit this so you can see some of the security settings that we've turned on. There are a lot of different functionalities and fields here. Don't worry, guys, I'm not going to go through every one. I'm just going to go through the highlights. One of the big ones is obviously the exam rules. So you have the ability to go ahead and customize and create any rules that you want to here and place them in. Next, I'm going to talk about exam scheduling and the delivery process. So we have the ability to deliver exams in two ways. One is through a scheduling system where a candidate is required to book a particular exam at a particular time. So we can go ahead and limit and say, let's say you want all of your students or candidates to be able to take the exam on the same exact day at the same exact time. You'd be using one of the scheduling capabilities here, or what I've enabled here is on-demand scheduling, where you just set a date range. And as long as the candidate comes in and takes the exam within the date range, they'll be able to move forward. Here you can see that we have live proctoring capabilities. This requires a live person to approve the check-in process, whether we submit a face photo, ID card, all that. We support multiple video streams, web camera, screen share. We also have the ability for mobile cam or our proprietary 360 camera. The focus of today's webinar is going to be primarily around the webcam screen share and then the AI features that we have turned on. So during check-in, we request a face photo and ID card, and I've also turned on auto ID check. This is an AI-based ID check, and you'll see what it looks like, but just to give you guys a description, what it's going to do, it's comparing the face photo I take with the face photo on my ID. It's comparing the name on the ID that we go ahead and get from Assess, so what their system provides us. On top of that, we do a liveness verification where we're actually detecting that the person is physically present and it's not just a picture of a person. And we're also going ahead and actually verifying the ID itself. So if it's a government issued ID, it's going to go ahead and detect that. And down the line, we have the ability to let the candidate move forward or not if it's not an appropriate ID. Beyond that, we have the ability for a second ID card as well as an environment check. This is just a sweep of the testing environment where we ask the candidate to show all four walls and the top of the testing surface. Some additional securities that we have are browser lockdown. This is a browser-based security using our extension where we have the option to block various functions such as right-clicking into the context menu, accessing keyboard shortcuts, forcing the page to full screen, blocking link clicking, preventing multiple monitors, preventing multiple tabs, tracking, tab switching, window switching, and closing tabs on exit. So a lot of different functionality here. Depending on the level of security that you want to administer your exam with, you may want to turn on all of these or just a few. We can certainly make recommendations there. Additionally, we have the ability for system monitor. So this is a system level exe file that the candidate is required to download and install. What this does is it goes ahead and requires that the candidate kill all of the additional programs except the browser window so that they are able to go ahead and take the assessment. And periodically throughout the exam session, we'll go ahead and monitor what additional programs are being activated. This is primarily to go ahead and block remote proxy test takers, to block those AI solutions that go ahead and work on the desktop to be able to provide answers to candidates midway through the session. So I really want to be able to show you guys this. I realized right before this webinar that it would kill Zoom, so I don't want to get kicked out of the webinar. So unfortunately, I have to turn this off. If for anyone that does want to try this out, just go ahead and shoot us a message. We'll be happy to send you a sample session where you can go ahead and test this out yourself and see the functionality there. Additionally, I have live AI turned on. This is where we have the ability to detect multiple people in the testing space, whether the candidate is present or not present, whether there's a cell phone or tablet is in view, and whether it's a different test taker than who checked in. Additionally, we have audio AI turned on. This is where we're detecting multiple speakers in the testing space and transcribing what's being said. So a lot of different security settings are available to you, depending on the level of security that you want to place around your exam, whether it's live or automated, you still have a great deal of functionality to be able to protect your assessment. So with that, I'm going to jump over and start the candidate journey. So the candidate journey, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the CreditCycle store that Nate was just showing us. And I have a webinar prepped for us today. And on this, I'm just going to go through and select Learn More. And I'm going to go ahead and add it to my cart. And this is the candidate journey. This is what they would do. They would go ahead and establish an account within CreditCycle that's unique to the certification. They would find the specific exam that they wanted to purchase, and they would be able to then go ahead and purchase. Oops. That's what it was. So I'm just going to go ahead and find the specific one that I'm interested in. Go ahead and add it to my cart. Go ahead and check out. And here I can go ahead and proceed to check out directly from here. And then here I can go to my dashboard where I have the ability to go ahead and register for proctoring. And from here, you'll see that it's going to automatically take me to the Proctor360 store where I have the ability to go ahead and take my exam. Since I was just on the Proctor360 admin side, I don't want the cache to get messed up, so I'm going to open it up on an incognito browser here. And you can see here it's taking me directly to the Proctor360 store, and it's linked up to the exam that we just created. And I can view my exam rules and everything here. I can go ahead and agree to them and then go ahead and hit take exam. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and confirm everything is good. And then I have the ability to go ahead and go to the dashboard directly from here and launch my exam. So right now we're in the check-in process of Proctor360, and we're about to go ahead and take our exam. And I'm going to go ahead and start the check-in process here. It's going to ask me to share my screen, share my webcam. Hello, everyone. It's asking me to take a face photo. So here it's going ahead and actually going ahead and taking a video. And what this video is doing is it's a liveness check to verify that I am physically there. And it's just not just an image that would be analyzed. It's an actual video that's going ahead and being analyzed frame from frame to verify that there's a physical person there. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of my ID, and I'm going to submit that. And here we're doing an ID verification step. This is to go ahead and verify that the face photo goes ahead and matches with the face photo on the ID. The name on the ID goes ahead and matches with the name on file. So everything's good. It's letting me move forward. And directly from here, I can go ahead and start my session. And it's going to go ahead, take me straight into my assess assessment. And I would go through and take it as usual. So throughout this process, we do have the ability to audit sessions live. I want to show you the Proctor360 dashboard where we have the ability to view everything that we're seeing. So we have the full screen share as well as the webcam of the candidate. You can see that during the ID verification phase, it's going ahead and matching. It's confirming that my face matched. It's confirming that my ID matched. It's also letting me know that it's received 100% liveness score, so it's able to verify that I am a live person. And we're also doing an ID document verification. Seems like it's taking a little bit of time, but what that essentially is doing is it's going ahead and verifying the actual type of document that is being presented, meaning the ID type. So we're able to support US government issued IDs as well as UK government issued IDs, and we're able to recognize them. We're able to go ahead and limit sessions and say if one of these isn't presented and we can't move it forward, if we can't verify it, then we wouldn't be able to move the session forward. Continually throughout the session, what we're doing is we're doing live AI flagging. If I'm not looking directly at the screen, it's going to go ahead and flag me where it can't see my full face. If I were to move out of frame like I am doing now, it would go ahead and flag that. If I were to hold up a cell phone or tablet and use that throughout the exam, it would go ahead and flag that as well. So all of these flags, they're going to be available post-session, but they're also going to be available in real time to be able to audit as needed. And we can go ahead and set up these to trigger proctors or admin staff on the client's end to be able to go ahead and view this. So in a very high level nutshell, that's what we wanted to show you on the proctoring security side. So I'll go ahead and continue my assessment. And just like that, I can go ahead and go through, answer my questions, and finish this test.
And you might have noticed that there was a watermark on those items, so that if somebody had software which was taking screenshots or something, we'd be able to see exactly who it was because it had a unique code.
Absolutely. I think that's such a important thing just because we see these questions going out in video format, or you find them in like the oddest places like TikTok, and it's really helpful to come back and be able to verify from where these are coming, right? So in terms of the system capabilities that we wanted to show, I believe that was everything. We're happy to take any questions at this point and address those. We have one, how is the sensitive area, how the sensitive data are handled after uploading/submitting. On the proctoring side, we collect a lot of PII. Obviously, we collect information related to the candidate's face photo, ID photo, environment, everything. So there's a lot of security that we have to place on our system. So our systems are completely on AWS, so they're on the cloud, and there's a lot of security layers that we go ahead and put in to be able to make sure that only authorized access is allowed. One, authorized access on a per account basis, as well as authorized access on a role basis is how we're able to go ahead and verify that the data is secured and it's stored within, the AWS secure server environment.
And on our side, we have a SOC 2 Type 2 accreditation. We pass some third-party audit every year. So we also greatly value security. And but we have obviously less PII. We don't store people's facial images or anything like that on our side. Basically, it's usually just their name and email. And you can get away without putting in name and email too if you wanted to.
We have another one. Can you explain more about the browser extension system and system monitor function with a simple example? Yeah, I would be happy to. So the browser extension, it's an extension that you go ahead and get from the Chrome store. It primarily works just on the Chrome browser itself, either Chrome or Edge. What it will do is it will track functions that are happening on the browser. So if a new tab is opened, it'll go ahead and track that a new tab has been opened, as well as the link that's being accessed. Same thing for the windows. We're checking if the focus has changed on a window, and we're tracking whether there's been a window switch. It also allows us the capability to do multiple monitors and all that. So it primarily works around the browser and what the browser has the functionality to do. There is a limit to how much a Chromium browser will give us, just because there's a lot of securities around Chrome itself, and Edge browsers too. And that's why we had to design the system monitoring function. This is something that works on the operating system level, and it enables us to be able to go ahead and track unauthorized programs and functions that could be running on the system level. And I do think, the best way, unfortunately, I couldn't show it again because it would have kicked me out of Zoom, but I do think the best way to kind of demonstrate it is for you to try it yourself and see the functionality on your side, and, really be able to go ahead and see in real time everything that it closes, and, how it's able to make sure that only the test is open. Looks like we got another question in the chat. What are your hours of operation? Is this available outside regular business hours? Nate, you want to take this one?
Sure. From the assessment side, we're 24/7, and we've got staff in Philippines, Dubai, South Africa, Colombia, and the USA, so that we're able to support multiple languages and all time zones.
Awesome. Same thing. I don't think we have staff quite as distributed out, but we are a 24/7 operation, and we do have quite a few international staff that allow us to be able to offer 24/7 availability across our products. Any other questions? All right, so I think with that, and that's a good close. Whoop. There's one came up. A browser extension is not a secure browser. What function, like without install secure browser? Yeah, the browser extension primarily works on just the browser functionality. So it's going to be mainly focused on just the browser rather than the on the system level that a secure browser would be. That's why the system monitoring is available to work on the system level. All right, so I think that's a good close to this webinar. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to go ahead and join. Nate, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join and doing this webinar with me. So with that, we'll go ahead and close out.
Thank you, Kranti, and thank you for everyone who attended.